Welcome back to another episode with ByrdAdatto. As you can see today, we actually have a guest with us. But as you know, we've had a lot of different videos over the last 2 weeks, and in doing so, we've talked a lot about the law, regulations, how fast things are changing. We've had a great experts come in from the financial side, from the law side, and from obviously even understanding how your business should be running. But really today, we're actually going in a little bit of a different direction. And I think, Michael, maybe you can help introduce our guest today.
So my longtime friend, Robin Pou, joins us today. And so we'll just start with our history professionally, because that's probably what people most care to hear about. Robin is our chief strategist. Before that, at the beginning of our careers, Robin was an attorney just like us, and he got smart a few years, 4 or 5 years into it, and then became a business person for many years. In fact, Robin was a client of ours for many years. And then Robin found his true calling in helping leaders around the country and helps Brad and I through the good times and pandemics. And so we asked Robin to join us today to share some of his wisdom, and hope that you guys will see the value.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be on one of your episodes. And today I wanted to just share with you, those who are listening, that my job is as a chief advisor and strategist for leaders who are making a significant impact in the world. And so go figure that I'm working with these two guys who are crucial to your professional lives. So happy to partner with them on this. You know, over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been spending a significant amount of time on Zoom calls as well as teleconferences, working with leaders across the country. And they're having similar experiences like you. In fact, one gentleman is trying to figure out how to actually shut his business down. He's in the transportation industry, and he's got to go through the process of taking this business to a slow burn, if you will. And that may be an experience that some of you are having, all the way to another leader who is dealing with his CEO and trying to figure out how to retool their manufacturing, because the White House is asking them to actually use their manufacturing for some of the needed equipment for this pandemic. So the range of leaders that I'm working with is broad, and yet I wanted to take some of the learnings that we have discovered through our conversations and bring them to you for your business right where you are. And so I put them into 3 categories. And the first one is vision. If we believe what they're telling us to be true, this pandemic will come to an end. So this is not an underlying economic issue like a housing bubble or 9/11. This will come to an end. And so your challenge from me, your thinking partner, your leadership coach who wants you to perform your best when it matters most, is to write your vision, pen to paper, write your vision for what you want your business to look like on day 1 when this is over. Now, in the leaders that I've talked to, we've gamed this out in multiple different ways. And every single time we come back to one thing: their client base, or in your case, your patients. This is your opportunity to actually strengthen your relationships with your patients, even though you may not be able to actually transact business with them. So, of course, that's going to look different for every single business that's listening to this, but it is a way for you to think about, what do I want my business to look like on day 1 when this is over? Strengthened patient relationships. And then part B of the vision exercise is to figure out what you want to have accomplished by the end of this week, by Friday at 5 o'clock. Because in times of trauma and turmoil like this, 3-year planning is temporarily on hold. We've got to be able to shorten that vision horizon to be able to identify those things that have to get done this week, especially when the situation is so dynamic and changing so quickly. So you get to earn your weekend by identifying what you want to have accomplished, your vision for 5 o'clock on Friday. So that's the first part, vision. The second part is your why. when you accepted this role as leader, either opening your own med spa or being a leader inside of that organization, it's possible that you did not know that you were going to have to lead under these types of circumstances. Well, neither did Churchill, and yet there he was in the leader's seat. And so you have an opportunity to remind yourself why you chose to be a leader. And if that why is still the same, write it down and reaffirm it. And if you have never really discerned for yourself why you are in this leadership spot, today is as good a day as any, because she who has a why can bear almost any what. It's a quote that was made famous by Viktor Frankl in a book written right after World War II called Man's Search for Meaning. Sold 30 million copies. And while I'm not comparing this particular situation to his situation, which was that he was in a concentration camp, his message, his purpose for the book was to share with the rest of us that when we are clear about our purpose in any given situation, whatever comes our way, we can actually bear it. He who has a why can bear almost any what. So vision, your why, and then the third piece is how. Now, what you do in your role, in your business, has not changed, but how you do it has changed considerably. And therefore, your ability to adapt and pivot and be flexible enough to change how you do what you do is going to be a hallmark of your survival during this period of time. And not even really just survival, which is a zero-sum game, but your thrival or your success. I'll give you a little anecdote. So Joe Buck is a play-by-play announcer, and he has called some of the biggest games in the world, Super Bowls and the Masters in golf, and yet we have no more sporting events during this period of time. So what he does, calling play-by-play for games, is the same, but his how has gone away. So creative as he is starting to call play-by-plays for any videos that people are asking him to call that they're uploading for Twitter. So I just watched one. In fact, there was a lady who had uploaded her two dogs playing in a mud puddle. And here's Joe Buck's voice calling the play-by-play between Booyah and Chance, the two dogs that are wrestling in this video in this water hole. So even if Big Joe Buck can come down with the rest of us, it means that we're in the same boat. So what you do has not changed. How you do it has been disrupted. You're creative. You can figure out how to pivot so that your how can be delivered to your patients, even if that means that there's no transaction at this particular moment in time. So vision, your why, and then your how. So here's my last parting comment to you. You have a choice in this situation, as dire as it is, or as challenging as it's getting ready to be. You can either give up or you can go for it. And if you're going to give up in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, don't even waste your time. Go ahead and just give up today. Make a powerful decision. Is today a good day to give up on your vision for this business, for why you actually started it? And if you're like most of my leaders who have the courage and the energy and the perseverance, albeit in tough situations like this, in order to say, you know what, I'm not going to give up. I'm not a give up. I'm not a quitter. I'm actually going to go for it. Then you continue to stay connected to ByrdAdatto, who's providing you the resources that you need, along with all of your other mentors and all of your other advisors that will help you day by day get through this. So it's been an honor for me to come and bring you these leadership messages that I'm using with some of the top leaders in the country. It's a universal experience leading through a pandemic. So hopefully these tips, tricks, and tactics have been helpful for you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Usually I try to add on some words of wisdom, and I'm afraid to say anything after that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it just makes me more than anything, double down on our motivation with our business to turn into it. You know, our why is helping others succeed. And of course that extends to our clients. It also extends to our employees and to our nonprofit partners. And so it just is encouraging to hear that, and emboldens me to keep moving forward.
Well, and what I love about working with you guys is just your heart, and so it's clear in just the way that you approach your clients that you're leading with your heart, but you're also, in the other hand, you've got your strong skills that you bring to the table. So clearly, a public service announcement for your clients, and you didn't ask me to say that, but I would be remiss in not really complimenting you on your leadership for your employees and your clients during this time.
Well, Robin, I completely agree with Michael. Great insight as usual. It's again why we've been so happy to have partnered with you for so long. Obviously, I don't have the length of relationship that Michael has, but all the years in between. But I've enjoyed the decade plus of knowing you too, because of your leadership skills have always been spot on. So appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for coming. Michael, any passing thoughts, or you're good for right now?
Well, other than just wishing Robin a happy birthday, he is an elder person to me, and so and he has a big birthday as of the date of the filming tomorrow. It may be released actually on your birthday.
Yeah,
so,
correct.
Happy birthday!
Yes, you're my younger friend by 6 days. I love it.
Well, thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to our next episode. Thank you again, Robin.
Thanks.